Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our first ever generation reveal show for the oh, I should have had it out here.
Just HRFM.
Yeah, HRFL. You know what it is. I can almost do it by the letters probably, but um so of course gender reveal. That would mean that today is the birthday of all the new ponies. So happy birthday to all of our ponies here. We've got some stats to share with you about this generation, once in a generation here. Of course,
Yeah. Uh,
I'm also
so
here with Chris, of course.
yeah, we'll do the reveal, but we got a couple stats first that Jimmy and I will run you through.
Yeah, yeah, we got
Uh,
to build it up a little. We can't just go straight to the review.
yeah.
We learned
I
learned
mean,
something from reality shows. Um, so we've got 31 total ponies, from 31 different moms, but only 16 dads. So some of them dads got a little more time than others. But all the stables except for one have bred horses. I went a little nuts. I got six new ponies here. We've got Andrew with four, and then looks like the mean number here is three with Brett, Nate, Kaylin, Casey, and Christian. All not the median. Sorry, would be three, and then Zach and Walt with two, and Jesse and Johnny with one each. So lots of them to look forward to. Our studs, uh, we've got the most offspring, five. You do four with your own stable, and then was it two
that's
others
right.
with the
Yeah.
other stable? So we don't say that. Went with five, didn't go the max six, but five, and was able to pass on that rare, beautiful dark palomino color to four of the five ponies. And
Yeah. So there might look like you might be able to tell by looking at them that it's a we don't say that kid, you know, because it's a rare
nice.
color, but four of them.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
So does the white tail go with the dark palomino, or is that
It's
just
like a blonde tail. Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Nice, very very beautiful. Um, and so we had several studs outside of the um, mother stable. We had the largest stud fee go to Portugal the Fast, $25,000 to breed with Distracted, and Zach was able to bring in a total of 47,000 with Distracted to be the highest, most stud fees by a stable and a horse. Distracted and Zach, and Kaylin spent nearly $50,000 to in stud fees to breed her ponies. They're 49,500. So, did you have any expectations there, Chris, on the pricing? Because that was interesting. That I
Yeah.
I had no idea, but I kind of thought it would be more than that, and I didn't end up doing that. I just bred all in my stable, but yeah,
Yeah, I didn't want to influence it by saying what I thought the fees were. Maybe I still shouldn't, but
sure,
I guess I can say that the prices were lower than I expected.
okay,
And as far as the amount of the interbreeding between stables, I think that was maybe what I expected. People would mostly not do that, but there'd be a good healthy handful of people doing interstable breeding.
nice, nice.
Yeah, here's the average stud fees per grade. Only B and D grade horses were paid to breed with.
Nice, nice. Yeah, everybody tried to stay with some high grade horses.
Sure. Yeah,
This
sure.
was the first season
Makes sense.
for sure. All right, and we had, as you may expect, a lot of stables trying to breed their champions, and out of the 31 ponies, 16 of them had at least one parent that won a stakes race. And got a list here, some
Yeah.
pictures. Of course, we
I
don't
think,
say that the most with five. My boy Peter Berg with four, 4 days in a row even, and
yeah.
worked him hard. And yeah, Quicksilver with 3, but you can see
Yeah, and
the other
and
ones
the
there.
the real big winners of this list, the ones that won the really huge prizes were both Andrews, Portugal the Fast, and thereupon I Linger. Um, Portugal the Fast, of course, was a kind of a surprise because she's still race eligible and will miss most of the next season for having bred. But
Indeed.
Andrews rolling the dice, and it could be could pay off big time.
Yeah, that's a big one. I was surprised with that one. But, no, good to see because we'll see. Yeah, can't wait to see the results there coming up here in just a few minutes as we continue through some stats. As you can see, 2 stakes winners breeding together happened twice. I did it with Peter Bergen, Swamp Knocker, and then We Don't Say That and Embellishment.
So that's Kaylin's pony.
Kalen's okay. And all right.
Yeah.
Very nice.
A little bit more
then,
before we get to the big reveal.
There we go. Some retired horses that were able to breed before they went to the retirement stable, if you will. Quicksilver. It's a big one. Three on the way out there.
Yeah.
Tacticulator with 2, and then yeah, nice list there. I Goat Dynasty. I had Charmer and Nerd Alert. Also, as we mentioned, Embellishment, the Empress. Thereupon I Linger. Let's Top You Off. Executrix. I think that was the first time that I had pronounced that correctly. That's right. For the last time, Phantom Ring and then Pizza Slice.
Yeah. I'll just make a note on a couple of them. Tacticulator, what's interesting is that Brett claimed him really late in the season. And
Yes.
I think he didn't realize that Tacticulator was going to retire. He was unaware of the reaching 8 years of age rule. But then it ended up panning out a little bit for him because he used Tacticulator twice to breed, next generation. Of course, thereupon I Linger was the Breeders' Cup champion. And Jimmy, maybe it's okay that Executrix and the name Executrix is retiring, right?
Indeed. Although you never know, maybe that name found its way into the pony's name. And we'll find out here in just a bit.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Mind if I take it from here, Jimmy?
Let's do it.
All right.
Generation reveal.
Yeah, the format of this is I'm going to start at the horses that ended up being grade K, and then do grade J. And we'll go from bottom to top grade wise.
Nice.
All right. No horses were grades K, J, or I. You guys, all the horses you bred were better than those bottom grades.
Nice.
All right. Next up, grade H horses. 2 of them, Christian bred Hey Wise Guy and Walt Sable Surprise number 2. Those were both bred really at the very end of the breeding period. So a couple grade H horses there for Christian and Walt. Neither of them are here. Jimmy, Andrew, Nate, and Kaylin are here. So when we reveal their horses, if you guys want to say why you named them what you did, you're going to be welcome to.
Nice. Very easy names to pronounce also.
You can, yeah. All right. A couple easy ones for Jimmy to start us off.
Hey Wise Guy.
Hey Wise Guy. And
then
you can see on the
number
right,
2.
On the right here, you're going to be able to see what grades your stable ended up with to kind of get the big picture is the idea here. So 29 more to be revealed. Grade G horses. All right. Jimmy's selected varieties. Casey bred a horse named Belafonte. Andrew's pterodactyl, which is like if you were gonna sound out the word pterodactyl, and Christian's Bartlett's begonias.
Oh, Christian.
Bartlett's begonias tucked into her curls. Of course, from Grateful Dead or the Sublime cover.
Right. Yes.
Bartlett's begonias. All right, so nice. Andrew, why pterodactyl, if you want?
First, Bartlett's begonias, R.I.P. Phil Lesh, who just died.
Oh, wow.
Legendary bassist of the Grateful Dead.
Rest in peace.
But pterodactyl, I had a horrible, horrible habit when I was on the radio at work, as an EMT and then a medic in non-life threatening situations. Uh, people say like, "Oh, T as in Timmy" or whatever. I had a habit of saying P as in pterodactyl. Pterodactyl, of course, being spelled with a P.
The only
That's
non-life threatening situation.
Yeah, I'll stick with that story.
That's great, man.
So P
That's
as
awesome.
in pterodactyl is what I came up with for this one.
That's great, man. Jimmy, what about you?
So, my new job up here in Tennessee, been working at a grocery store and been training as a scanning coordinator, which is a fancy way of saying I'm in help with the tags and signs. But if you obviously you probably everybody's been at a grocery store, and a lot of signs. This is not just my grocery store, but every store, they'll put signs up of things that have many flavors or many varieties. And the phrase that I see the most in my job is selected varieties, where you don't know who selected them. Somebody selected them. It could mean all the varieties. It could even mean one. But
Nice.
yeah, just love the phrase. And,
Yeah.
So, and also my boss who's been training me is a big fan of horses as well. So
Okay.
in honor of Miss Laura and yes, my Food City scanning deputy possible career. We'll see what's going on. But there you go. Selected varieties.
Nice, Jimmy. All right, that's a good one. So, this is maybe a good time to note these are their grades as 2-year-olds, and as everyone knows, the horses will get faster as they get older. So, but as 2-year-olds, these ones are grade G. There's 4 of those.
Nice.
All right, next up.
I'll also
yeah.
add that now that I told you guys that, now you guys are going to see selected varieties everywhere when you go shopping. So
Oh yeah,
you're gonna notice it.
All right, grade F.
If you didn't already, but anyway.
All right, there's 25 more to be revealed. Grade F horses. There's 3 of them. Brett bred Savvy Play 2, Kalen Fireside Chat, and Andrew's Lonely Lhasa. I'll start because I know why Brett named his Savvy Play 2. It's because he bred Business Savvy with Let's Play 2. So
nice.
So Savvy Play 2, 100% named after the parents.
Nice.
Kalen or Andrew, you wanna comment on your names? Kalen says Andrew.
Okay, I'll go. I'm doing it. Lonely Lhasa is it's from a book. I don't think it made it onto Obama's last summer reading list.
Andrew, you're kind of cutting out. We lost you. Do you guys hear Andrew? You guys hear me?
Yes.
I hear you.
Okay. We were not hearing Andrew.
Oh, okay.
All right. I'm going to start again because it was hilarious. No, so I don't think it made it onto Obama's summer reading list yet, but I think it will this year. And it's from a great piece of literature that a young Kaylin Wetzel wrote, which actually I believe served as her cry for help. It was possibly the most depressing story I've ever read in my entire life, about a poor, destitute dog that was finally well, I don't want to ruin it for you, but let's just say
no spoilers.
Lhasa might not have ended up lonely at the end of the story, but believe me, it was turbulent and touch and go for a long time. So since Kaylin provided Kaylin's stable provided half of this horse, it is a not so subtle nod to her literary work.
Fantastic. Yeah, good.
She provided half of this horse. That's what she did.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Andrew paid a stud fee. Andrew paid a stud fee to Kalen for this one, and Lonely Lhasa is the result.
I would like to add that book was written before I cut bangs or pierced my nose, so I would agree that it was the initial cry for help. And somebody should have taken notice.
How old were you when you wrote it?
7th grade.
Seventh grade children's book, The Lonely Lost Book.
I feel
Oh
like your
yeah.
parents would have been happier if you turned to drugs instead.
No.
All right. Kaylin, you want to talk about Fireside Chat, just like the name?
Sure. We got super into Gator baseball, but sometimes we can only listen to the games on the radio, which reminds me of a 1930s FDR Fireside Chat. And I am very intimately familiar with the 1930s because that was always my assigned decade for school projects. So it just felt like a fireside chat, and I like the name.
Boom.
Nice.
All right. So
I
that's
like it.
grade F.
Dude, baseball's so great on radio also.
It's all right. Yeah, we can.
I love it.
All right, 22 more to be revealed. So observe. Remember, F is an average grade in HRFL. Of the 31 horses the owners bred, only 9 are average or below average. 9 are average or worse. So that means 22 of them are already at age 2 above average. So that's what you guys did. Bred some talented horses. Let's see more specifically what that means. So grade E, of course, is next. All right, there were 7 of those. Jimmy's Lucy Level Excited.
Oh,
Jimmy's Freedom Sound. Brett's Tactical Days. Jimmy's Combustication as a welcome vacation from. Kaylin's Lint Liquor. Casey's Margot Tenenbaum. And I'm a fan of this name, Zach's Genghis Khan Man. So, all right, I'll start with Brett's. It's called Tactical Days because he bred Tacticulator with Nowadays. So another one, 100% named after the parents.
Nice.
And I'll say Lucy Level Excited was the first horse bred.
oh.
Jimmy, you got a
Yes.
couple here.
So yeah, I was only a little bit thinking about because I didn't want to just do Lucy, but then Chris texted me because I think I sent my where I was like, hey, I'm ready to breed, and Chris was like, Chris was Lucy Level Excited, and I was like, that's a perfect name. I was like, I didn't want just Lucy, I wanted some, but I was like, that's the perfect name. Let's do that. First horse, boom.
Nice.
Hopefully I'll be Lucy Level Excited when she crosses the finish line there.
There you go.
But and then my 2 others, Freedom Sound. This just worked out insane. So I decided to breed one female horse Liberty with a male horse Jazz. So Jazz and Liberty. I had already had this name picked out though, Freedom Sound, because it's one of my favorite Scatolites songs. If you like instrumental ska, check out the Scatolites, everybody.
Oh yeah.
So Freedom Sound just happened to be one on there, and that's just another name for Jazz and Liberty. So that worked out perfect. Very proud of that one.
That's a good one.
And then Combustication, if you're familiar with the Incubus song, Pardon Me, that would be the subject of that song, and a nice little made up word in the middle of it. So
nice.
And
Kaylin.
Buddha Chris for not knowing Combustication was
It took
calling
me,
you out.
took me too long to figure
like
it
2
out.
weeks after you see him in concert, you don't even know their lyrics. So
Yeah, Jim or Kaylin.
Mine is a throwback reference to a gum commercial. So, who you calling a cootie queen, you lint liquor? That's like Dirty Mouth, clean it up with Orbit. So, lint liquor.
I remember that now.
I'm probably the only person who says it at least once a week.
At least once a day.
Yeah.
All right, Margot Tenenbaum is a character in the Royal Tenenbaums movie.
Yes.
And of course, Genghis Khan Man is a before and after play on words, but so good ones. Those are grade E. Grade
Woo.
D. All right, a couple more notes before we do grade D. 3 of the top 5 highest paying races last year were won by D grade horses. 2 by Lemke and 1 by Thereupon I Linger. So we're starting to get into the upper echelon of horses here when you get to grade D.
For sure.
Here we go. 9 of those. Starting with Brett's A-Goat Tactics. Finally, a couple from Nate here. Crack a Bone. Jimmy's The Collector. Nate's Frostbite. Kaylin's Cootie Queen. I wonder what that's about. Andrew's Nay Anastasio. Johnny's Executrixix.
No.
Jimmy, I can't believe you called it. You didn't know this in the pregame.
I did
scene.
not, but man, did I call it. Holy shit.
And that's the only horse Johnny bred was Executrixix. Christian's Apple Core Baltimore and Walt's Toe Beans. So I'll start here. Brett, A-Goat Tactics is because he bred A-Goat Dynasty with Tacticulator. So that's the way Brett does it. He says,
Boom.
it's easy to keep track of who they are for when
It's
you
true.
have to breed them, when you have to breed them later. Nate, you want to comment on yours?
Yeah, sure. Crack a Bone is just the combo of macamaroni and cheese and rig bone, so I figured that was a good one. And
Ooh.
then Frostbite was born from Winter Wonderland, so I wanted kind of a snowy, wintry, cold kind of a name, and so I think Frostbite was a good one.
Those are solid. Those are great.
Nice.
Hell
Very
yeah.
nice.
Jimmy, why the Collector?
So, for a little bit when I got up here, I worked at a museum down the street, and where we pretended like it was 1791, and here in Tennessee, or actually we pretended like it was the Southwest Territories still. But anyway, my character was named Hal Massengill, and he was a horse racer back then. And the only horse name I could find of a horse that he once owned was the Collector. So that is named after. So there's actually a little story where he would always claim, he would just go around and be like, I got the best horse. My horse would beat everybody. And like other people would too, would like say that, be like, yeah, no, Massengill's horse will, kick your ass. And he actually, there's a story where he made a bet with someone and the other guy never showed up, and Massengill took him to court and won like money because he was supposed to bring his horse to race and he didn't.
Jimmy, it's so epic that you just like this year while we're doing this, moved to Tennessee and got a job where you played a real biographical character from the 1700s who owned a real racehorse actually named the Collector.
I actually had a course too, like owned the place where they would race too, which a mall sits on the land that the track used to sit on in Johnson City. So yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good one. Kaylin, who you calling a Cootie Queen? That's the Orbit commercial again. I know this has been Andrew's name he's had picked out for the longest, right, dude?
Yeah, this is my first horse bred, and I don't know, just for the last more than a year, I guess, at this point, you've been into this wild, crazy idea of a fantasy horse racing league. And then just like I've been texting Chris and Kaylin every time I think of a horse name. But Nay Anastasio, after the great Trey Anastasio, the frontman and lead guitarist of the band Fish, of which I'm a massive fan, I figured she'd get the first shout out for my bred horse. So Nay Anastasio, it's a play on Trey Anastasio.
Awesome. Executrixix, of course, named after, I don't know if it's the mom or the dad. I think the mom. Toe Beans by Walt is, I think that's a reference to cat feet. Walt does have 2 cats. 3 now, Kaylin says. And then I like the rhyme on Christian's Apple Core Baltimore. Kaylin, you have more of a...
It's from like a Disney chipmunk cartoon, and they used to say, Apple Core, Baltimore, who's your friend?
Nice. Throwback to childhood cartoon. Fantastic.
Was it Disney Chipmunks that weren't Chip and Dale, or was it?
Chip and Dale.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
We're not allowed
Nice.
to say that on our YouTube channel.
Oh, okay, that's it's not. Yeah. I'm gonna
All right,
I'm gonna
so-
just with it, instead of saying executrix, I'm gonna just make that I and the X at the end like a Roman numeral, so I can say,
9. Executrix 9.
or just executrid 99. Executrid.
Oh, executive. Yeah. Well,
No,
all right.
is that executrix? I got it. Is it
Man,
Anastasio or Anastasio, Andrew?
He pronounces Anastasio with
Okay.
the long A.
Let me make sure I get it. I knew it was him, but I never got the
Appreciate it. Thank you.
pronunciation there.
I'll let Trey know.
Nice.
All right, so now we're up to grade C. So these are horses better than Lemke and Thereupon I Linger, already at age 2, on paper at least, on paper. So there's still 6 more to be revealed. All we got is grade C, B, and A left.
Ooh,
Grade
man.
C horses. Here we go. 4 of them. Nate's Divine Intervention, Jimmy's Papernick, Casey's Prognosis Negative, and Zach's Captain Deadpool.
Yes.
Nate, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, it's just one of the good names. I have a whole page. I have 3 pages with 3 columns worth of names that I
man.
have.
Yes.
So I have.
We
There
love
are a
these
few-
admissions, by the way.
Yeah, there were a few that I was going back and forth on, and and then I figured it's like, they're all going to be good and they're all going to be used anyway. So Divine Intervention was the first one I picked. So
Nice. And if I'm not mistaken, one of the parents is Disneylodeon, whose name starts with DI, which maybe that's just coincidence, but
yeah, I didn't think about that. So that's interesting. Yeah.
Worked
we'll
out.
Well, no, Jimmy, what's Papernick?
All right. I feel like I could take the next 2 names because they're both Seinfeld names. Well, I assume Casey's is because yeah. Prognosis negative. So Papernick, if you remember the episode, if you're familiar with the episode where Kramer gets a tip on a horse while he's sitting in the subway and then goes and bets on that horse and it's losing the whole race, and then it comes back and then Kramer acts like he's the jockey on the horse until he wins. So Papernick is the horse that he bet on and won a ton of money on. So Papernick to win. His mother was a mutter. His father was a mutter. You know.
Nice.
They've been holding him back, and yeah, so that's Papernick. And I had to do I had to go to the closed captioning for the spelling on that, but I did to make sure that was
well, good
right.
research. So, good research.
Papernick to win, baby.
Yeah, and yeah, Prognosis Negative is the name of a fictional movie in Seinfeld, and then Captain Deadpool, I guess, is named after Deadpool. Nate, you know anything more specific about what Zach was going for?
Yeah, there's the joke in the movie Deadpool where he's trying to come up with his name, and he comes up with Deadpool, and then a few beats later he says Captain Deadpool, and then he changes it back. It's like, no, just Deadpool.
Nice. Okay, good one. All right, those are the grade C horses. So you'll observe then that there are 2 horses left to be revealed.
Man.
They're both grade B horses.
Oh,
Jesse, the only horse she bred, Mandelbaum Jr., which is also a Seinfeld reference.
Mandelbaum.
And Andrew's Generational Talent, and that's Portugal the Fastest Kid. So Andrew got the grade B horse out of it. Yeah, so yeah, the Seinfeld reference, Andrew, Generational Talent. This was your big gamble, grade B.
Yeah, Generational Talent. Much like Nate, I have a notebook filled with horse names.
Nice.
You remember Mitt Romney's binder full of women?
Yes.
I got a binder full of women over here. But I figured giving up half of my Portugal the Fast's final racing year and paying Zach what ended up being the biggest stud fee. Don't tell him, but I still feel like I got a bargain. I mean, obviously you can tell him. Yeah, I figured Generational Talent is also a subtle nod to hopefully future and lifetime Yankee Juan Soto, but we'll see. Yeah, so hopefully this horse is for the duration of this league is going to be impactful in one way or the other. So
Yeah, that's some pressure in that name there.
Yeah.
Inherent.
Nice. All right. Well, so there's no grade A horses. So that's how it stacks up. If you take a look there at the right, all 11 stable. Oh yeah. How about this? All 11 stables that bred horses got at least one that is grade D or better, a Lemke level, thereupon Eilinger level or better. And so it just happened to work out that way. You know, some stables went, you know, really all in and bred some really high grade horses. Some more lower grade ones, but everyone got a D or better. All right, one more surprise.
Oh,
All right, remember Hansel, the horse that on day one suffered a career-ending injury? The most
yes.
ridiculous career ever. And I even told you that I did the random number generator from, what is it, 1 to 6,000? Is that right?
Mhm.
Yeah, 1 to 6,000. And Hansel's result was 1. Like and it was in the second race in the history of the league, career-ending injury. I want you to remember one other horse. That's Robotron Ride 3000. That was the only 7-year-old female that never got claimed. So she retired unowned. The only
Whoa.
one. Well, I bred them together. So they're Hansel 3000. Their legacies will live on. We'll see if Hansel 3000 can have better luck than his dad or her dad. I don't remember. And Hansel 3000 ended up being grade I. So you see over there to the right, but they'll be in there. They'll participate. And actually,
Nice.
I don't know if I should call it one more surprise. Or you know, Walt named a horse surprise number 2, so I don't. Maybe this is surprise number 3. All right, now before we sign off, a couple outlier results. So remember, if you breed a grade C horse with a grade E horse, what's most likely to happen is a grade D. But they'll take after different parents in different ways. Even the good horses have some bad attributes, and some bad horses have some good attributes. And then there's some randomness in it. So I wanted to note a couple outlier results. Here's the horses that ended up with a lower grade than their parents would have suggested by a notable amount. That's Selected Varieties, Fireside Chat, Belafonte, Lonely Lhasa, and Pterodactyl. And then a couple that ended up with a notably higher grade than you would expect are Mandelbaum Jr. and Captain Deadpool. So a little bit of bad luck and good luck goes into it too. That's it. Generation revealed.
Woo!
All right.
All
Nice
got it.
job, Chris.
Thanks for joining us,
man.
guys.
I got
Well,
a couple of questions, but you can stop recording whenever.
All right, I'll stop recording and we'll hang back for a minute. Bye, guys.